CoCo Vandeweghe says there's a mistake people keep making about Coco Gauff as she wins the Wuhan Open title. Coco Gauff has regained her form at the perfect time after winning the Wuhan Open shortly before the WTA finals. Gauff loved winning the Wuhan Open, which she achieved via a 6-4, 7-5 victory over her fellow American Jessica Pegula. Pegula congratulated Gauff on her success in China, which represents her 11th WTA title, and second of the season so far. Both Gauff and Pegula will soon turn their focus to the WTA finals, which return to Riyadh early next month. Gauff won the WTA finals in 2024, and has already qualified for this year's tournament alongside 5 other players so far. Coco Vandeweghe says people keep making a mistake about Wuhan Open champion Coco Gauff. American duo Gauff and Pegula will be joined in Riyadh by compatriots Amanda Anisimova and Madison Keys, as well as Aryna Sabalenka and Iga Swiatek. Previewing the upcoming event after Gauff's latest success, former player Coco Vandeweghe said on Tennis Channel, "It's all about Coco's fight. And I think anytime we try to count Coco Gauff out, she shows up and wins and dominates these players that we think, oh, this should be a lot closer." Read more. Coco Gauff's victory in Wuhan is made even more remarkable considering what happened to her just last week. Or maybe Jess Pegula should dominate this matchup because they know each other so well, they used to play doubles together, and they've been really the backbone of American tennis for the last couple of years. But for Coco, we're always going to be looking at that serve because of the changes that she's made in it and the little nuances. Will it happen at this tournament right now coming up? I don't think so. It needs a little bit more time. But I think putting this serve under pressure is going to be so important for next year. I think she's always going to be a fighter, always going to be a contender, whether or not she can uphold against somebody that's going to be hitting big in conditioned speed of the court, that's going to be a huge factor out there. Because if it's a quick surface, then you can rush the forehand because Coco is kicking a lot of her serves to get a high first serve percentage, instead of going for a bigger one. That becomes more attackable the more people see it. Coco Vandeweghe predicts who will reach the final of the WTA finals. Gauff's service has let her down on occasion, but she can take some form of confidence from her success amid those struggles. Worryingly, however, she does lead the entire WTA Tour this season for double faults, having recorded a huge 405 so far. But Vandeweghe is backing Gauff for another lengthy run in Riyadh, having been asked if there is any chance of her reaching the final alongside Pegula. She replied, "I'm just going to go for a quick pick and I'm going to go Coco against Anisimova. But obviously we've got to see if the draw gods live up to it, so we'll find out." Vandeweghe likely won't be far off the nationality of the finalists at least, with 4 American players having qualified for the WTA finals. That said, they occupy spots 3 to 6 in the qualification standings, with European duo Sabalenka and Swiatek representing the top 2. When Coco Gauff lifted the 2025 Wuhan Open trophy, her radiant smile lighting up the Chinese night, the tennis world once again buzzed with superlatives. The future of American tennis, some said. Others called her the next Serena. But former WTA star Coco Vandeweghe, known for her bold honesty and sharp court intellect, believes that those labels, though flattering, miss the point entirely. According to Vandeweghe, people keep making one fundamental mistake about Coco Gauff. They keep treating her like a rising star when in reality she's already a complete champion. The misconception everyone keeps repeating. In an interview that followed Gauff's dominant Wuhan Open win, her 3rd title of the season, Vandeweghe didn't mince words. "I think people still talk about Coco like she's on her way there," Vandeweghe said. "But she's already there. She's not just potential. She's proven. She's world-class right now. And she has a point." 4 years, Coco Gauff has carried the prodigy label like a badge and a burden. From the moment she stunned Venus Williams at Wimbledon as a 15-year-old, the tennis world placed her on a mythical timeline. Someday she'll be great. But that someday quietly arrived, and many haven't adjusted their lens to see it. The reality check: Gauff's evolution into a complete player. The 2025 Wuhan Open was not just another title, it was a statement. Gauff's composure, consistency, and control over every rally spoke of a player who has transcended youthful brilliance. Her once erratic forehand is now a weapon of precision. Her serve, refined through countless hours of mechanical adjustment, has become both a statement and a safeguard. Where she once sprinted to chase points, she now commands the baseline like a veteran general. She's not winning because she's fast, Vandeweghe noted. She's winning because she's smart. That's the biggest growth, her mind. In Wuhan, Gauff didn't just beat opponents, she outthought them. Whether it was using sharp angles to dismantle counterpunchers or mixing pace to keep heavy hitters uncomfortable, Gauff displayed a tennis IQ that belongs to champions like Iga Swiatek or Naomi Osaka at their peaks. Beyond the court, Gauff's mental maturity. Perhaps what impresses Vandeweghe most is not Gauff's technique but her temperament. Even after her heartbreaking loss at the US Open earlier this year, Gauff spoke with grace and perspective. She didn't blame, didn't spiral, didn't lash out. Instead, she analyzed, learned, and moved forward, qualities that separate true champions from talented players. "That's what people don't get," said Vandeweghe. "Coco's already mentally elite. Most players don't reach that level until their late 20s. She's got it at 21. Indeed, while others in her generation ride waves of momentum, Gauff's growth has been deliberate and grounded. She's built her game brick by brick, lesson by lesson, loss by loss. Breaking the Serena comparison. Every great American woman in tennis inevitably gets compared to Serena Williams, and Coco Gauff has faced that shadow since her debut. The comparisons, while meant as praise, often reduce Gauff's individuality to a reflection of someone else's legacy. Vandeweghe, who faced Serena during her career, was quick to point out that this narrative does Gauff a disservice. "Serena was a force of nature, raw, powerful, intimidating," she said. "Coco's greatness is different. It's quiet confidence, adaptability, and balance. She's writing her own story. And that story now includes titles on multiple continents, a US Open crown, and a consistency that has carried her deep into almost every major event she enters. The symbol of a new generation." Coco Gauff isn't just redefining how a young tennis champion looks, she's redefining what leadership in tennis feels like. Her interviews are thoughtful, her activism measured, and her influence global. From speaking about equality to advocating for young athletes' mental health, Gauff is emerging as the kind of voice that transcends tennis courts. For Vandeweghe, that balance between on-court dominance and off-court awareness is what sets Gauff apart. "She doesn't try to be anyone else," Vandeweghe said. "She's authentic. That's rare in sports today. She wins, she loses, but she never stops being Coco."